For the past century or so, one way that people have enjoyed themselves would be by dancing the night away. During Prohibition, dance bands and dance clubs started to pop up throughout the area, and after the ban on alcohol was lifted, the numbers skyrocketed, leading to legendary places opening up like the Lark and the Brookton. But two area dance clubs stand out, mostly because of who owned them. The first was Ole's Place. Hjalmar Peterson was born in Sweden and came to the U.S. as a kid. As he grew up, he adopted the persona of Ole Skratholt and eventually became the most famous performer in Scandinavian vaudeville. During the 1920s, he toured the country, including the UP, with a large band and performed both skits and songs in Swedish. As fewer people spoke Swedish, his gigs dried up, and after he stopped touring, he moved to Marquette, where he opened Ole's Place. During World War II and just after, it was one of Marquette's hot spots, a place to forget about everything that was going on in the world. However, Peterson's wife died in 1949, an event that led him to undergo a religious conversion. He sold the club and hit the road again, this time as a gospel singer, drawing big crowds until his death in 1960. The other dance club with an interesting story behind it was Kelly's Slide. Located halfway between Marquette and Negaunee, Kelly's Slide was one of Marquette County's hotspots. The guy who owned it was a Chicago native named Mike Kelly, and while some locals really liked Mike, there were always rumors that he was nothing more than a Windy City gangster. No one knows if that was actually true, but what did happen one July night in 1947 is. That night, Mike Kelly reported he had been robbed of several $1,000s. The police came out, investigated, and after talking to everyone involved, said the case was clear and shut. The money was missing, Kelly had been beat up, and all that was needed was to file the paperwork with the insurance company. Then, a few days later, the police went back to Kelly's Slide to talk to Mike Kelly about the robbery, specifically where he had buried the missing $2,000. You see, Mike Kelly apparently cooked up a scheme with another individual to fake a robbery, get the insurance money from it, and then split the loot from both the robbery and the insurance company. Only, it seems the accomplice hadn't received his share and told police where the original loot was buried. So Kelly, realizing the jig was up, showed them where he had buried the money under the bar. He was arrested and convicted of attempted swindling, among other charges. He spent a little time in jail, returning to run his bar after he was released. Over the decades, dance clubs evolved, turning into places like the Alibi or the Vera Bar. But for the past 100 years, they've stuck around, giving Marquette and Marquette County residents the chance to dance the night away.